Across vast stretches of the United States, something terrifying is happening. Enormous cracks are opening in the earth, splitting the land apart. From the arid deserts of Arizona to the fertile plains of Texas, scientists are witnessing a troubling pattern. Land is sinking, roads are breaking apart. In some cases, entire homes are at risk. And the cause? Groundwater depletion. For decades, cities and farmers have been draining underground aquifers faster than they can replenish. Think of it like sucking the filling out of a jelly donut. Eventually, the top collapses under its own weight. When groundwater is removed too quickly, the land above it has no support. The result? Massive cracks and even sinkholes forming in previously stable areas. But it's not just groundwater pumping. Geological factors add fuel to the fire. Many of these fissures appear near fault lines, where the Earth's crust is already under stress. As aquifers dry up, the shifting ground increases, making cracks even more severe. Then there's climate change. Hotter temperatures, prolonged droughts, and unpredictable rain patterns force communities to rely even more on groundwater, accelerating the problem. And this isn't just an Arizona or Texas issue. It's a nationwide ticking time bomb. Affected areas across the U.S. The American Southwest is ground zero for this crisis. Arizona, California, and Nevada are riddled with deep, expanding fractures. In Arizona, massive ground fissures stretch for miles, damaging farmlands and roads. Some cracks are so large they can swallow vehicles whole. In California, the Central Valley, America's breadbasket, is sinking, as overpumped aquifers cause widespread subsidence. According to the USGS, some areas have sunk nearly 30 feet over the last century. Nevada, areas near Las Vegas and central Nevada are experiencing land subsidence and cracking, exacerbated by prolonged drought and water overuse. The USGS has detected significant sinking in parts of the state where groundwater extraction is highest. But the problem is spreading. Reports of new fissures are emerging in Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and even parts of the Midwest. And here's the worst part. This problem isn't going away anytime soon. Immediate and long-term implications. These cracks aren't just an inconvenience, they come with massive consequences. Environmental damage. When land fractures, it disrupts ecosystems, damages crops, and can permanently destroy farmland. Economic costs. Repairing roads, bridges, and buildings costs billions of dollars. Farmers are losing entire fields to these fissures. Public safety risks. Some cracks are so deep and wide that they swallow cars and even homes. In some cases, entire neighborhoods have been forced to relocate. If nothing changes, we could be looking at ghost towns abandoned because the land beneath them simply gave way. Scientific efforts to monitor the crisis. Scientists are scrambling to track and predict these growing fissures. Using satellite imagery, remote sensing, and seismic sensors, experts are mapping out vulnerable areas to warn communities before disaster strikes. But there's a problem. Prevention requires action, and action requires funding. Governments are slow to react, and most of the public doesn't even know this crisis is unfolding beneath their feet. Proposed solutions and preventative measures. The good news? This disaster can be slowed if we act fast. Sustainable water management. Arizona is starting to regulate groundwater use in rural areas. Some states are investing in aquifer recharge projects where water is intentionally returned underground. Infrastructure adaptation. Engineers are working on ways to build more flexible, crack-resistant structures. Roads, pipelines, and homes must be designed to withstand ground movement. Regulations and policies. Some states, like California, are setting groundwater limits, but more action is needed nationwide. Stricter water conservation policies and incentives for reduced groundwater use could prevent future disasters. But will action come soon enough? Or will we wait until the cracks swallow entire towns before we take this crisis seriously? Now I want to hear from you. Are you concerned about these cracks in the ground? Have you seen evidence of this where you live? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Some may call it crazy, we call it curiosity. Every breakthrough starts with someone questioning the unquestionable. What if we're wrong? What if we're right? Stay curious, stay bold, and never stop questioning, because that's how progress begins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on MystiQ Time.